But you know, it looks better because we can't show our legs in here.
I think we're live soon.
Well, I don't care.
Soon, yep. About
Skibbity
30
wop,
seconds.
wop, wop. Skibbity wop, 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 wop.
So yeah, we got the wide angle on 2. Right now, when you're standing up,
And-
the angle on 1 cuts your head off.
All right,
But
and that's what makes it official.
2, yeah, the second.
Yeah.
and if you're just switching between these 2, you can just do.
Yeah. And I want a second opinion. I thought this was too busy for the show, but is this perfectly fine?
Looks
Yeah,
great,
I
and I
think
think
that's
we're
good.
going live in just a
All
few
right.
seconds. So
Skibbity.
too late to change it now.
Yeah, all right.
Great. Whenever you're ready, you can get ready.
Skibbity wop wop wop. Skibbity wop wop wop. Skibbity wop 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 wop. I'm glad you're up for anything.
I love it. Yeah.
If I say jump up and down,
Yeah. Let's do it.
you can tell me to do anything.
Okay.
Be funny.
No,
Entertain.
please. That's the worst thing.
And-
I'm with my guest, Collin Campbell, an entertainer,
Hi.
willing to try anything, which I like because there's trust, and besides, it's more fun for you if you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yep. And I don't know.
One
either.
thing I do know about Collin is he's a great entertainer who starts in this bastard tradition we call, busking. And I would bury that for the longest time because busking is something that's not very bookable in theaters. They don't want you to have a street performer on stage if they can get it free outside. So I'm going to talk just a couple words about that, but Collin does so many things more. The thing he's most well known for is Kilted Collin, and it's crazy to see someone on a tall unicycle in a kilt playing a bagpipe. And then there's more things on top of that finale, but I won't give it away. Anyway, thanks for being here with us.
Hey, happy to be here. Yeah.
I'm going to bring this to a comfortable spot here. Bring you closer.
Yeah.
So, when you first were doing the Kilted Collin thing,
Yeah.
there was nothing else like it. And so you were, I mean, it worked and you got tons of gigs. I'm excited about the fact that you're always experimenting with other things. And I just learned that you're experimenting with some beatboxing stuff. And,
Yeah.
and freestyling.
I'm kind of leaning into the hip hop sector. Yeah, I've been getting into freestyle rapping lately, and I go on a website called Rhyme Zone that has like if you type in a word like bad, it will give you all the exact rhymes and then all the like the 92% rhymes would be like bad, sad, the fad, rad, tad, and then yeah, and then it would have like near rhymes, which would be like I don't know. Yeah, I guess
This
that
is rhymezone.com?
rhymezone.com.
And so
yeah.
a kid in Dubuque, Iowa, who has no, hip hop happening around him
Yeah.
or her, can get a feel without having to just look all around for it.
Sure.
It comes right.
Yeah, it's helpful when you get like stuck on saying the same kinds of words.
All right.
Like for example, if it would come in the rhyme and you would say something like that was great and I was really sure, I would a go-to rhyme for me would be like I must implore, or that I was sure, but then there's, if you go on
That's
the
like
rhymes.
a Collinism.
Yeah, it's
Because
just,
some people be not daring enough to use a sophisticated word like implore.
yeah,
but-
or if it just is, it's hard to recall, like, there's like demur, procure.
Right, that's a tougher one.
Yeah, so it's like,
For sure.
yeah, so the ones that are, if you're rhyming and you find yourself using the same like 2 or 3 words, you would go on Rhyme Zone to try to expand your vocabulary on, those 2 or 3 words to maybe be.
Now, how did you apply it to a live situation? Like I heard something about, I didn't get the full bit, but you might actually do it to an audience member and then pause. I want to hear more about that.
Sure. I started kind of doing a little a little bit of crowd work and putting it on the crowd a little bit, where instead of just like having set up punchline, with a rhyme, I would say something like, hey, you have nice pants. Now I wonder, are you gonna dance? And then I would wait to see if they would do anything, and then they wouldn't, and then I would just continue on the rhyme, be like, oh, I guess you don't want to dance, so we're gonna look to the right, and this person is now in my sight, and
I'm thinking it'd be so fun to think of a couple more things on that line that you could do, like in a club situation. Like people have drinks usually in front of them. Like, are you going to turn that glass upside down? Quite good.
Yeah.
Don't turn it around.
Yeah. I had a couple of those. It was like I would try to get someone to sing, two people to high five.
That they might do though.
Yeah, there's some that is
and that's good too.
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
good.
You
It was
like
a good
god.
mix.
It looks like a god that you can make them not do something.
Right,
and make them
right.
When in fact you're just there's other layers that you're dancing between. Not that this is easy, my god, but like I feel like I'm getting a little glimpse, and that's what I think is cool to share.
Yeah, it's fun to I know the ones which are like really big asks, which they're probably not going to do, and which ones are little asks, like, can I get them to cheer? Are they going to cheer? And it's like, woo, like that's pretty easy buy-in for someone, but
it's well put that you give that you sort them into little asks and big asks.
Yeah. But the big asks are like the funny comes in with them not doing the thing because it's so outlandish, or it just like puts them on the spot. It's just a fun thing to play with.
Right. When I would have an audience volunteer, I thought it was really fun to do graduated asks. So the super littlest at first, and then ramp up until, like if it's with a kid, it's not going to be crazy because kids can go crazy and say. But to get a conservative adult to do something wild can be done if you do.
Yes. It's what is that? There's like a psychological principle, like, you get a couple yeses. Small yeses, and eventually, like, the yeses get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, in fact, I wish there was like tons of shows like right outside my living room, so because I want to practice that more. It is so fun to have a bunch, like a structure like that you can work off of and do it. Like, I mean, I almost wish the vaudeville days were back where you could do it every single day of the week.
I would love that. Yeah. No, it's.
Let me hear your take on why would, because I know I would too. Why would you look at the vaudeville days? And tell the folks what vaudeville is anyway, because we're in the biz, but people might not even remember what vaudeville
I guess I think of vaudeville as variety arts, where you could have a juggler or an impressionist or a ventriloquist or a hand balancer or a comedian. It could kind of be. I think the fun is a huge amalgamation of a bunch of different pieces of art that someone is.
And it had to be paced to keep the folks.
Sure.
Not just the highfalutin high rollers.
Yeah.
But you had to get the fidgety folks who didn't even know theater. You had to get them.
I guess maybe for, the viewers or for a layman, something similar, a similar adaptation would be something like the early Gong Show.
Mm-hmm.
Like when that was on, I would kind of put that in a hybrid, variety arts / vaudevillian. You get like a.
So you would love vaudeville to come back, like I would be. I mean, my thought is it's just the repetition.
I just think it's more interesting.
Yeah. You see lots of acts in a night.
Yeah, and like so many different acts. I mean, this is again just my personal opinion, but I have a hard time going to amateur stand-up shows because everything is so similar in the sense of like how the comedians talk. It's not that they're saying the same stuff. It's like the cadences are the same. It would be
Right.
You know, like
a bunch is okay, but then more than this many.
yeah.
You know, one of the hardest things I had to sit through, I thought I was seeing a circus art show, and I love the circus arts. It was aerialists, and I love aerialists.
Sure.
But if you see one after another,
Yeah.
the whole show is aerialists.
Right.
And so that's what vaudeville had, was this mixture. And I think in Europe, the Spiegel tents are doing something like that now.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Have you been in a Spiegel tent?
Next gig, ask me.
Yeah,
ask me
yeah.
about that. Yeah, that would be now.
You haven't performed in a Spiegel tent?
Well, we had one here at the it was called Outside the Box Festival,
Okay.
Boston Festival of the Arts. But sadly, it went off.
Was that in Cambridge?
It was in Boston.
It was in Boston.
It was called the Boston Festival.
Yeah.
And it was they had four of them, and then they just went defunct. I think that the founder died.
Oh.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so we have a couple of friends I think who are doing the Spiegel tents,
Yeah.
don't we?
There's one in town right now. There's
the peculiar.
Yeah.
Peculiar.
Yeah.
Dr. Swindles?
Yeah.
Yes,
Peculiar.
that's something that's
Yes.
of our ilk.
And you guys
we
should
don't
see
always
it.
have something in Boston that's going on, but you should check out Dr. Swindle's Peculiarium. And I just went on the website last night, and it looks like there's shows at least through mid-November.
Yeah, I saw it last year. It was great.
Oh yeah.
It was a great show.
Let's go. Wanna
Yeah,
go?
it'd be fun.
Yeah, about 2
Al,
weeks.
we mutual friends that just went the other night, and he they asked me if I could go, but I had plans.
Well, Alentina.
Yeah, and I think the Higbees went as well, so that was fun. Maybe Peter Gross too. I think a bunch of older performers in the
Wait a
Boston
minute.
scene.
Getting a little too personal. No,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
but Al Miller's not. He's your generation, isn't he? No.
He's a couple. Al is I mean
3 or 4 years older or something.
no, he's I think he's like almost 10 years older than me.
So then, who's 10 years? Like, who are the next really?
Man,
I remember when you came up. It was like, oh, it was you. I think the Trousers.
Yeah, this would be I mean, this is an interesting topic. Is the fact that the show that I do is I do it on the street a lot. I street perform at Faneuil Hall and Quincy Market, and there's a great roster of talented performers there, but there is no new wave of performers. It's and it was kind of like you did that. You had kind of your generation of folks like Peter Panic and Bob Areno and then it was
Airborne comedians.
yeah, right. And then it was
Remember Barbarino Gravatini?
I didn't meet him. I
Yeah.
just knew of him. But
He would balance on a rollabola with a wheelbarrow on his chin, and then he went to Europe because that Europeans seem to really get what we do a lot better. There's a lot more opportunities, and so I saw a picture of him. Good practice for me to get the wide shot. He's on a wheelbarrow, holding. He's naked and just holding his parts.
he's naked. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
He had a pretty good body. He loved to show it off when he could.
Yeah.
But if I did, I probably would do it. And it seems like you'll do whatever is gonna work. And
Sure.
I remember the first women who were street performers.
Yeah.
They showed off what they could, and I would have done this exact same thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the next wave. There's a shortage of it, isn't there?
There's nobody. It's unfortunate. It's because I think we're really trying to welcome new talent, but it's nobody is applying, and man, it's just I don't know. It is. I would love to see some new faces.
Yeah,
and,
I'm wondering too. Maybe there's because, like, I was never a great street performer, hardly. But at least there was enough other kinds of gigs around that I could move off. But I'm also thinking there's not. I've been hearing from some performers that there's not as many of the we call them bread and butter gigs.
Yeah.
They weren't prestigious, but you could do a show and have focus and. And have control of the environment and so that was nice.
Yeah.
And I think we talked to it. There isn't a ton, like there used to be plenty to make a living.
Yeah, I think it can be done, but I think it's a much more proactive business than sort of react.
Right.
Not to say that.
No, I know what you mean because I see like
I
Lucky
do-
Bob he's got a
Yeah,
routine
yeah.
about calling every morning.
Yeah, I mean, but I will say I do think there was like a huge golden era, you know, in like the 90s and the early 2000s for like kind of what we do in general. I think there were, because, you know, there was no digital era of entertainment, and, you know, I remember seeing pictures of people performing it.
One second, I'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
right with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That this might be changing.
Yeah.
Did you start before this was everywhere?
Did I? Maybe. Yeah. I don't know when the. I think.
'Cause I'm thinking at some point that must have really been because I've heard from people who work outdoors that often the struggle is that they'll take a little video,
Yeah.
post it, and then they're off.
Sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Have you watched a change in that?
I have watched tricks that like left mouths agape. You know, not even really. You know, make an expression change on someone's face before. I remember, you know, we have a friend who does a backflip on a pogo
Oh
stick.
yeah, Wacky Chad.
Yeah, and I mean when that, for even myself when I first saw that, and I mean, you know,
Like,
probably
holy shit!
yeah,
Did he just do a backflip?
it's
on a pogo
unbelievable.
stick?
It's unbelievable, but it like you know, especially over the last 5 years, I feel like people. I mean, it used to be this like uproar, you know, and now it's just kind of like, oh, you know, that was
So
nice.
do you think maybe audiences are a bit jaded?
I think so. Well, I just think it's like, you know, you can go on your phone and see someone do 5 backflips like off a huge jump, you know, in 2 seconds, and
Well, we're in Cambridge where people care a lot about government and democracy, and maybe we could try a backflip for democracy.
yeah, that's a yeah.
If only we knew someone who knew how to do a backflip.
Yeah. Man, I'm getting.
I'm not thinking of you necessarily,
Yeah.
because, but I would.
Your son can do a backflip,
I would be
right?
thinking of you necessarily if I
Yeah.
thought you wouldn't get injured. So a random question: would you get injured if you did a backflip in a on a hard floor?
No. There's not enough space in here, but
Oh, okay, sure, for sure.
maybe I'm just saying that as an excuse, also.
Well, then it's you don't do the backflip,
Yeah.
but just explore like I had Paris over my house who does backflips.
Paris can do a backflip.
Yeah, and a forward flip. Paris. Oh, I should get this
Really?
back up here.
Huh.
Paris, hip hop Paris.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What do you call his?
Yeah.
Anyway,
A hip hop juggler.
he looked at the ceiling and he said, "I think I can just barely." And he was looking at it pretty high.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how high your feet.
Yeah,
So
well,
you
it's not
don't
the
necessarily
feet.
do the backflip, but where
Yeah.
would your feet go?
Oh, the feet. I don't know. Maybe here, but it's not.
I think they go higher than that. Your head, if you threw your feet over your head,
Yeah.
it goes higher than that.
Is it? Well, it's more the problem is more in the arms, because like the thing with a standing backflip is you jump up and then back, and most mistakes that people make is
Go
they
back.
go back.
Yeah.
So with that, I mean,
So just be honest.
Yeah. it's
this
not
one-
enough space. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. The lights are
That
too
would
low.
freak people out.
Yeah, no,
It has
I-
never, and by the way, it could be done in here without. It's simply hanging lights. The ceiling's low enough.
Well, you need a little more. Yeah.
I also, I have a quirky rule that no injuries of the guests during the show.
Yeah, that's a good one to
Right.
keep. Keep in motion.
Remember, just random. Put
Yeah.
your hand against my hand. Remember doing this as a kid?
No, I don't think I ever did
Do
that.
I'll do that. No. You have to do it at the same time. It's very weird. It feels like a dead hand. With
What?
you both touch thumb and fingers and do that. It's very weird. just like what I did.
Yeah.
Cup your hand and now do it. And go up and down. Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
For me, it's not weird, but for the person who's touching, when you do that. How did you not
What?
ever do that one before?
I don't know. I think maybe it's a generational thing.
Maybe because phones have now made entertainment, because
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember just how easily amused I was when I was younger. I don't know if this...
maybe you got things different, the other things that I didn't do. So, like, what are like the, in fact, I love seeing funny little things you can do without
Sure.
any props.
Yeah.
We work with props all the time, but it's fun to be able to, sometimes you're I mean, especially if you're in another country, you want to be able to connect with people who don't speak your language. You do these funny little things, and it's instant connection. So that's one of them. But you probably know some.
I did. There was like a patty cake thing that I learned with a friend of mine, and it was like a girl taught it to us or to me, like in high school, and then I taught it to my friend, like a guy friend of mine, and we started doing it like really fast and really,
How'd it go?
like burly. It takes a little bit to, you go. I'm sure there's and then you slap the outs. No, you slap your hand. Yep, and then you go on top. And then your hand.
Oh.
And then you go, and then you hold it.
That's enough I could do for now. Let's see if we can get that. That's
Yeah, and then you do one below.
Yeah.
And then you hit your knee, and then you go back to the beginning. So it's
that's a little more complicated than that, but I love those type of things.
Yeah.
And maybe slightly simpler versions.
Right.
So that you can just, maybe, you're invited to a house because after the show, that they said, we'll pay you your fee, but we won't pay the hotel. Can you stay with these people? Yeah. Those are great things to share with your guests because they're all excited that you're over their house.
Right. Yeah. I wish I've a friend of mine just recently told me that he bought all these like little prank props that are like everyday props, but just for like hangout moments is really fun. Like he did one of them is a dribbling cup, so you drink it and it just dribbles water, but there's no holes or anything. It looks, but it makes it feel like oh geez, I'm spilling all over myself. And then he has a fork that is like an extendable fork, so you'd be like having a conversation or a meal with somebody.
Oh, that would be great.
And you like go and like get food off their plate, and it's just like these little things that make the everyday moments just so funny. I mean, because that is really what life is ultimately about. It's just
ultimate challenge. Something with a fork in a freestyle rap.
Yeah.
Would you be game?
Yeah.
Fork it over.
Fork it over.
Do you need to collect yourself for a second?
No,
because I haven't seen this, and I'm so excited to be in.
Yeah.
I feel like this is wicked hard to do. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just sat here, and we're gonna get some food, and hopefully it will just be real good. When I just eat it, I get myself a fork, and then I just do it, and then I go north to some more grub that I put in my belly, and that it's just getting kind of helly. Yeah, I don't know.
That was great.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Don't stop.
Okay, all right. Yes. In the studio, and we're just chilling. I'm telling you guys are just feeling the feeling, and we're just gonna move with all the stuff. I'm telling you that it won't be enough because we're just hanging, we're having lots of fun, and there's no more sun because it's late. It's outside, and I'm just seeing people walk by. They're holding hands. It's a beautiful couple, and it's just gonna be on the double when they're walking to their home. They put on the TV, and that I'm just gonna be needy because I can go. I don't know.
That was great.
Yeah.
I realize in some ways, not like letting it go. The longer you go.
Yeah.
You start. So we have a street scene right here, And when we walked in the studio, it was still some light, and then when you said it's dark,
The dark, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it's fucking dark.
I am by no means a good freestyler, but like I'm.
It's humor.
Oh
though.
yeah,
You're going for humor.
I'm going for humor is really what. Sometimes when I do it in my show, I have a couple lines that are kind of already queued up that I'll like try to slide in there. You know, I'll say something like, "Hey, you know, I'm just here and I'm me, and also right now I'm holding in my pee." You know, just like stupid, silly stuff that are just out of nowhere. Yeah.
By the way, I'm glad to hear the word pee because I used to say piss, and then I had kids, and then that's like a little naughty, so I don't say pee.
Yeah.
But maybe now in this gender fluid era, maybe pee is like everybody has to pee.
Yeah, I don't think that is
so
ever.
People don't use so it's not like wussy to say for
No, not at all.
What used to. I'm just telling you, like back in the days when you'd say that's wicked pissa, you know.
Sure,
wicked
yeah.
awesome.
That's so Boston. Yeah.
It's wicked excellent, decent. That's wicked pissa. But
Yeah.
So pee is so good, so I don't have to like re-engineering my language.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Because I have to fit in. Because what matters more than keeping up.
What are the things that your kids are saying that are like surprising you as far as lingo goes?
Well, like you're welcome.
You're welcome.
They don't say that. They say of course. And I'm not sure, it might be such a tiny deal. I'm not sure if you're even aware of it, because I don't know. But when I go, oh, thanks for doing that.
Of course.
You did. That's what comes to you.
Yeah.
So that's that's surprising.
Yeah.
So we are gonna be maybe skibidi-ing or whatever.
Wow. That's quick.
Real soon. But I'd love to hear your mystery before we go. We got about a minute.
Yeah.
The next thing you're really enthused about doing.
Enthused.
Well, this freestyle. What's missing is the audience members.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. More applause. I guess. Yeah.
There's never a applause. So. Tip your street performer.
That's right.
Hire them for gigs because they can make a milestone birthday, like a 50th birthday or wedding, the best thing. You got to see this guy's show.
Come to Quincy Market.
What's the website again?
KiltedCollin.com.
KiltedCollin.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there, and it's good. I love the video too. It's the Scottish bagpipes that you're playing 2-minute video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just what they Google Kilted Collin?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
Check it out. And Alex the Jester.
I'm the interviewer, and but yeah, I'm Alex the Jester, and you don't have to rhyme if you don't want.
Yeah, I can rhyme. Yeah, we gotta leave. Yes, and it is cut, and that is when the door shuts. The Starro
Drive Nightclub Show.
Nighthawk
the Starro Drive Nighthawk Show, hosted by Austin Rutledge.
He's the man.
Every other Thursday, right?
Tuesday, right?
Every other Thursday, I think.
Twice a month.
The Starro Drive Nighthawk Show.
Thank you, Cambridge!
Woo!